We are doing a chapter by chapter analysis of Ginger Hubbard's Don't Make Me Count to 3. We're on chapter 7, Managing the Manipulator. Ginger opens out of the gate by saying that women are better at manipulating than men, even as children. So she's indicating that daughters are going to be more manipulative. She basically is going to assign children motivations of manipulations. Again, there's not a really discussion of child development beyond age. She kind of says, well, younger children may cry, whine, beg, or throw a temper tantrum. Older manipulators will just sharpen their tactics. They might be a little more clever through criticizing or pouting. So that's really going to invite parents to, it's not militant per se, but to see their children as in an antagonistic role, as opposite them. And again, to assign children maybe sophisticated adult motivations. She's an interesting hermeneutic on page 82. She suggests that Martha in the Mary and Martha story is trying to manipulate Jesus. She writes on page 82, rather than simply asking for help, she tries to manipulate Jesus into making Mary help. In Luke 10:40, Martha whines, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all the work myself?" She's sort of saying this in passing, but as an example. Like, our responsibility, she says on page 83, is to respond to foolishness the same way Jesus did. And I think that's a revealing hermeneutic, how she's approaching that story of her perception of womanhood, I think, her perception of Jesus, as she said in an earlier chapter, like reading Jesus's interaction with humans primarily being about revealing their sin to them. What she offers parents is that when your child's trying to manipulate you, you have the options to either answer them according to their folly or not answer them according to their folly, referencing the Proverbs. An example would be a whiny child who wants to play more before lunch. You can answer her according to her folly and just give an answer because you've been playing for an hour and I told you to stop. Or you can answer her as her folly deserves and say, honey, could it be that you are more interested in playing dress up than pleasing the Lord? God says, children, obey your parents in everything, for this pleases the Lord. I'm going to go out on a limb and say most children are probably more interested in playing dress up than pleasing the Lord. And I think the nouthetic framework offers no space for that to be a normal human option. And the downstream effect of this is scrupulosity, is really religious scrupulosity. If everything has spiritual motivation, if everything has spiritual intent, there's a constant introspection. Am I motivated by the right things? Am I pleasing the Lord? Am I doing enough to pleasing the Lord? And I think it really begins from a starting place that the Lord is displeased, and the Lord is upset, and pits against like the idea of duty, what you ought to do, with the fun thing you maybe really want to do. And again, this is all mediated by a parent saying what God is pleased about or what God isn't pleased about.